Well, as you can see, it is 6:27 p.m. on Wednesday, 22nd of November 2017 in Dallas, Texas. So it is now over 54 years since JFK was assassinated. And the name JFK has a value of 27. So a good time to jump on. I'm in Australia, so it's 11:27 a.m. about to be 28 past 11 a.m. on the 23rd here where I am. So it's the next day. Still, however, the 22nd of November in America. Now you tend not to get too much in the way of storms at this time of year in America because it's going into winter. Although you can still get them in Texas, most certainly. 28. That's the number of years that it will be in 13 days from now. It will be in 13 days from today, the 23rd. It will be Wednesday, December 6th, and it will be 28 years since I was approached by the Aquarium Man at Western Park in Canberra. And I mentioned today's date as one to watch, as in the 22nd, as a date to watch. And it's actually the 23rd where I am now. And I was just looking at the weather. Well, it just started thundering actually where I am. And so I chucked the radar on. Well, I went to the BOM, the Australian Bureau of Meteorology. And that's the current satellite image for Thursday, 23rd of November. And the rain radar, I'm pretty close to Canberra. And yeah, I could hear thunder, so I decided to put the radar on. There you can see the time and date, and yeah, I live just north of... I live about here, put it that way. And yeah, I can hear the thunder from these storms that are appearing down here. So I'm about to go for a little walk outside and show you what I can see and hear. But also I looked at it was a cool article yesterday written by Jeff Masters on Weather Underground. And Hurricane Maria has now topped Katrina. It's only topped by Katrina in terms of damage. And most of that was obviously to Puerto Rico. And so big article on that showing, interestingly, two of the most damaging hurricanes of all history have been this year. Maria and Harvey, and there's a chance Harvey could move to number one yet. Some estimates put Harvey's damage at around $200 billion. So that's all the biggest, most costly disasters in US history. Katrina's still at number one, but Harvey may replace Katrina soon. So the death toll from Maria could be close to 500 people, in Puerto Rico mostly. Massive rains from Maria in Puerto Rico, the second highest ever recorded. And yeah, big comprehensive article on all that. And at the bottom, Jeff Masters has just said, I am personally giving thanks this Thanksgiving that I can enjoy the company of my family under a roof with electrical power and water, and that I don't have to write about a major hurricane in the Atlantic. That's what I was doing last year on Thanksgiving Day when Category 3 Hurricane Otto hit Central America. So no sign of any hurricanes this year at this stage. And you would assume hurricane season is over. So, there's a lot of thunder for some tiny little storms. What looks like tiny little storms at the moment. Can be deceptive though, because the amount of rain falling from a storm does not necessarily reflect how big the storm is. Okay, now I just heard on the Weather Channel that Hobart is in day 7 of a heat wave. 31 degrees there today. So day 7 of a heat wave for Hobart. That is pretty unusual. And yes, I'm going to go outside now and see what this storm is doing. And you probably know that I have a prediction for Wednesday, December 6th. There's our storm. It's making all the thunder. And there's a bird. So most of the sky is blue and clear until you get to that part of the sky. And this is usually where the storms form in our part of the world. If it's just a slightly stormy day like today, we usually get the storms forming out that way. But that's pretty decent by our standards. Don't know if you can see that bird. Yeah, there's a lot of thunder. I can hear the thunder from inside rumbling away, quite deep rumbles. I don't think you'd hear it on the camera. Some little cumulus clouds over there. So yeah, I've got a prediction for... I did predict there's something, I thought something will happen on the 22nd of November. That was yesterday. Now I'm not aware of any weather events yesterday, of any noteworthy events. There was the heat wave continuing, and there is some places in the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia did get their heaviest rain in 2 years, but nothing really noteworthy. Yeah, today though, well, it's still the 22nd of November in Texas, and we've got some pretty nice looking storm clouds here, rumbling and thundering away. And I actually like storms when they're in this stage. It's the best time to observe them, when they're in the early formation stage. They tend to have more, I don't know, they tend to have more thunder and heavy rain at this stage than they do later on. If you happen to be underneath them, you can get some really intense rain, hail, usually at this stage of the storm. And as it grows and expands, the overall energy of the storm may increase, but the intensity tends to go down. Unless, of course, it's a supercell storm, in which case it will keep getting stronger. So yeah, my prediction is for Wednesday the 22nd, was yesterday, was one date I mentioned, but my prediction is for Wednesday the 6th of December. And that's when I think there's going to be big storms, and I think it's going to be a combination of things. I think Sydney's going to get hit by a big storm, eastern Sydney, Vaucluse, where the lighthouse is at Vaucluse, Watson's Bay, Rose Bay, that area. And I think there's going to be a big storm hit Canberra. Now that might be on the 27th, Monday the 27th, rather than the 6th. The 27th of November, the Monday, is actually 9 days before December 6th. So perhaps one storm will happen on the 27th and the other one 9 days later. And I've got a feeling there could be twin hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. Now that seems really unlikely now. It's really getting late. It would be moving into winter. In another 8 days from now it will be winter in America. So talking about hurricanes seems almost crazy, but I just got this feeling there's going to be twin hurricanes named Sean and Tammy. Well, the next two, if they happen, will be Sean and Tammy, but I've got a feeling they will be Gulf of Mexico hurricanes, maybe, or one of them. Sean, I think, maybe, Gulf of Mexico. But I've got a feeling maybe that one of them, maybe Tammy, is going to hit South Carolina. And they may not be hurricanes, they may be just tropical storms. You wouldn't really expect them to get to hurricane strength outside of hurricane season. So it's a strong feeling, but it goes against logic, this one. So I'm really not sure what to think of that. I usually do listen to logic as much as anything else. And science, the science of thunderstorms, lightning, cyclones, all those things is fascinating. It really is. They are amazing things no matter how you look at them, no matter how you interpret them. They are amazing. And you can, just watching cumulonimbus clouds can be really fascinating. The way they change and morph, build, retract, and then they fuzz, they turn into cotton candy. You've got behind all that cotton candy and the whirls and the patterns, you've got if there's a lot of thunder, then you've got some friction happening, which means you've got some clouds that are upwelling, bubbling. So yeah, interesting. I guess we'll see. It's only 13 days away from the date, Wednesday, December 6th. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure there's definitely going to be a big storm. There's going to be more than one big storm. And at least one of them is going to be on December 6th. There's going to be twin storms, I'm almost sure of that. And hey, there's some pretty cool cumulus clouds. Great stage of development there. It's where they're really awesome to watch up close. Just watch them bubbling. Bubbling away. There's a really cool one there. That's at the perfect stage to watch them bubble. Watch the little bubbles popping up off the top. So you've got warm air rising up into the cold air. Well, as it's rising, it's contracting and cooling and forming into water vapor or cloud. And as they go higher, you get ice crystals. That's just a little cloud out on the horizon from where I am. And for them to be interesting, you need to zoom in on them and watch the changing, watch them change, watch them evolve, because it happens quite quickly. You don't think of a cloud as changing that fast, but they do actually change quite fast. There's a lot of energy going up, bubbling. And if you were close to that cloud, you'd really see it, the speed. Clouds are actually huge. So there certainly would not be lightning in those clouds yet. See, that cloud is fallen apart of it's just gone dunk. Actually, no. I think that's a cloud in the foreground. So yeah, they do constantly change though. And as they go high enough, they form into ice crystals. And Jacob Wetterling, who is one of the boys that this predictions relates to, the other one being Nathan Breeze. Wetterling and Breeze are both names that relate to weather.
And speaking of breeze, there is quite a strong breeze right now, rustling the poplar leaves. Breeze and Wetterling. Wetterling is a German surname. It can be Nordic or Scandinavian, but in Jake's case it is German. His heritage is German, and the German name Wetterling means weather child. It translates as weather child from German into English. Wetter, weather, Ling, little one, weather child. So Wetterling and Breeze. Jacob Wetterling, 11-year-old boy from Minnesota, actually from St. Joseph, near St. Cloud in Minnesota. Another weather-related name, St. Cloud. And Jake played ice hockey there on the last morning of his life, which was Sunday, October 22, 1989. And it was 28 years this year. It's the 28th anniversary. And in 13 days from now, it will be the 28th anniversary of my near miss. I was approached by a predator at Western Park in Canberra. Undoubtedly a predator. And I came to call him the Aquarium Man because of the fact that he tried to get me to go and look at an aquarium with him. That was his rather weird enticement. There's a cool bird. And yeah, I was 13. And today is the 23rd, so we are 13 days away from December 6, 2017. It will be 28 years later, and I know something's going to happen. Something's definitely going to happen with the weather. Wetterling and Breeze, my boy prophets, they are definitely sending me a strong message. Something's going to reflect. It's going to reflect what you don't remember, what you can't remember about what happened to you. It's going to get reflected in the weather. It's going to be big, it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be hard to deny. So yeah, the lighthouse at Watson's Bay is definitely got something to do with all this. Macquarie Lighthouse, it's actually at Vaucluse in Sydney. And yeah, Dunbar Head. The Dunbar was actually a ship that went down in a big storm. A lot of people died a long time ago. And that became Australia's first lighthouse site. There was a survivor from that shipwreck, and he managed to cling to the cliff for a long time before finally being rescued. And that ship was built in England. It was its maiden voyage. I'm pretty sure it's built in Sunderland. So yeah, the Dunbar. And a reflection of, I haven't seen the name Dunbar too many times in my life. Only in relation to that ship actually, the Dunbar and Dunbar Head, which was named after the ship. But very recently there was a murder in New South Wales, up near Walker, in Walker, and there was a grazier who was murdered by his wife, and his surname was Dunbar, and she tried to make it look like he'd killed himself, which he did not. Strangely, as far as coincidences go, this is pretty weird. The paramedic who arrived at the scene was the ex-husband of the woman, and she had previously tried to murder him. So he, I think, notified the police that there was something sus about what was going on, about this guy being dead. And when they investigated, they found a lot of things that, yeah, definitely confirmed it was a murder and not a suicide. So his name was Dunbar. And that was just not even a week ago. So there's something in this, I know there is. This reflection's already happening, and I can just feel it. Wetterling, Breeze. Jacob Wetterling and Nathan Breeze. Nathan Breeze, he died age 13. And he was one of the victims of the Black Saturday bushfires on 7th of February 2009. And strangely enough, that date was exactly 10 days. Oh, we have a dog. Whose dog are you? Neighbour's dog. That date, when Nathan Breeze died, was actually the 7th of February 2009, was exactly 10 days before Jacob Wetterling's 31st birthday, which was on the 17th of February 2009. And Jake would have turned 39 this year. His birthday, Jake was born on a Friday, he turned 11 on a Friday, and this year his 39th birthday was on a Friday, the 17th of February. We had a fire at our place that day, well, 40 k's from here. Bushfire burnt down several homes. And then 39 days after Jake's 39th birthday, Tropical Cyclone Debbie made landfall at Airlie Beach in Queensland on Tuesday, the 28th of March. Like I've been saying, it's 28 years this year since Jake was kidnapped and murdered, and it will be 28 years since I escaped from the Aquarium Man in 13 days from today. Nathan Breeze was 13, I was 13, and hey you. And Angel, Jake's birthday, 39th birthday in 2017. Angel has a value of 39, so does Sean, and Sean is the next name on the Atlantic hurricane list this year. Sean equals 39, and Angel equals 39, so does Candle. And 3 9s are 27, which is the value of Debbie. Debbie on Tuesday the 28th of March. You might have heard that one. Anyway, yeah, Tuesday. I was born on a Tuesday. 28 years in 13 days from today. Wednesday, December 6th, 2017. It's going to be a big reflection in the weather. More than one. Dunbar Head, Macquarie Lighthouse, Sydney, Western Park, Yarralumla in Canberra. Something maybe on the Monday the 27th of November. And I got this feeling about Sean and Tammy. Tropical storms, hurricanes, I don't know. What do you think? No comment. So we'll wait and see. We'll find out. And those clouds I was filming this before, they're gone. Completely gone. So that's the ephemeral nature of clouds. They come, they go. Sometimes they become something, sometimes they don't.